I reverse engineered Alex Hormozi's frameworks to build my business from scratch. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like. If you're a real Hormozi fan, you even know about the Gym Launch Secrets book. But yeah, so far, I started this business in March and I've made $4,831. My MRR is $744. It was $1,172. And then I upsold one of my clients who was on $297 to yearly. So it paid me $3,000 yesterday. That was pretty insane. That was an insane feeling. And so this is what it looks like. This is going to be a longer video, by the way. So if you have a short attention span and you can only pay attention to 30-second Instagram reels, maybe train yourself. Try to watch through at least a chunk of this video so you can actually learn how to apply this stuff to your own business. And the reason I'm making this video now is to document how I was thinking early on in my business career and hopefully help those of you who are in the same stage of business as me kind of do the same thing and progress as fast as I am or even faster. So I'm trying to give away everything that I'm doing for free. And I put a lot of work into this, which probably halted my MRR progress more than I thought it would. But it has given me a better understanding of my business as a whole. And I really listed out like everything that's automatable. So all this green stuff is automatable. All this blue stuff I have to do. The black stuff and white stuff is just structural. And then yellow is stuff that a VA can do. And obviously more blue is me. And so this is the BrickSmart engine. Let me give you a little bit of context for me. So I started watching Alex Hormozi in 2023. This is a screenshot I took of one of the first videos that I ever watched. And I was sending it to my best friend. And I was like, this guy seems legit. Like, we should probably start watching him. And then we took the offers course, which is this book. And we took the leads course as soon as it came out, which I think was in like 2023 or 2024. And so I started watching him 3 years ago, and I've only continued to watch him more and more. And the more I watch him and the more I progress in my business, the more the stuff that I learn from him applies and the more relevant it feels. So really, like, I don't know, it's insane. The more you progress, the more the stuff that he says is going to make sense to you. And that's why I think his content has resonated with me so much, because he's basically just predicted everything that was going to happen and given away everything that he does for free. And so if you guys are an entrepreneur and you haven't heard of Alex Hormozi, or you haven't taken the books, the courses, or read the books, you can go to acq.com. He spent $400,000 on that domain, by the way, and spent $500,000 on acquisition.com. Little Hormozi facts. And then go to courses and go to offers. And everything you need to know is here for free.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome. My name is Bert, saying, yes, I want to buy, and doing so at higher prices. And so I'm going to...
Like, the same thing goes for the leads course. So if you don't have money to buy the books, he gives it to you for free. So please go and take this like free sauce. Like, he's literally just giving away everything for free.
Here, 2 years of work.
This is everything you need to be able to get to $1 million a year. And that's where I want to go, so that I can go out to acquisition.com and work with his business on scaling past $1 million a year. And so that's my goal. And I have taken everything that I've learned.
$100 million money models, the training on how to...
I've taken everything that I've learned from Alex and applied it to my business and built out this whole roadmap on everything, all backed by Hormozi knowledge. So you can see here, money models. None of this I came up with on my own. This is all Hormozi stuff applied to my business, obviously with like slight tweaks with like specific softwares and stuff. But we have the offers book, the leads book. This is actually me when I dropped out of college in my dorm reading the leads book. But here is a little bit of context on Alex Hormozi for me. So started watching him in 2023. 2024, I ran a lawn care business where I would only listen to his podcast in my earphones while I was mowing lawns. And I listened for 7,533 minutes over the course of one summer. which is 125 hours if you do the math. Pretty insane. And then in 2025, I was top 0.1% of viewers on YouTube. Learned a lot that year. And then here is a picture from my high school yearbook, which is my senior quote. People think they need perfect conditions to start, when in reality, starting is the perfect condition. Alex Hormozi. So, hopefully that gives you an idea of how much Alex Hormozi content I have consumed to build this out. I want to share one more thing before I start diving in, and that is, this is going to be a little tip for you guys if you want to speak literally with these successful people. Like, this is how I talk to Alex Hormozi, not literally, but kind of. So you can go to YouTube, and you can take transcripts. So let's go here, Alex Hormozi, click on his account. Let's say we click on this video.
And I also don't know anything about the metric.
And then you can go to the description. You can show the transcript, and then it'll pop up here, and you can literally copy paste this into Claude, and Claude will give you everything you need, and just say, like, apply Alex Hormozi's frameworks in this video to my business. And that's what you can do. A little hack that I like to do is go to this right here. So you paste the link of a YouTube video into this right here, and then you can just copy it. This one's from Caleb Ralston, so I copied this into Claude to build a personal brand. And then you take this, copy this, paste it into a Google Doc, and then download that Google Doc and give Claude access to it, which is like insane. And so this is the Cash Cows episodes that I've given to it. This is Alex Hormozi Consulting Businesses Live. Then it builds a cheat sheet for me, so like all the principles in a like summarized, so that I can go and pull these things without having to read through all the context. And then obviously if it needs something more specific on context, it'll go into like these bigger files here. And so this is everything that I've done. I've also given it all of the Mosey Minute emails. So if you guys have subscribed to his emails, this is them, all of them. I just put into Claude so that it can pull relevant stuff and apply it to my business. I've seen a lot of people doing this on Instagram. That's how you do it. There you go. If you guys don't know how to use Claude Code, go watch Nick Sarayev and Nate Herc. They post daily videos showing you how to use the new updates, how to set it up, and just like all the AI sauce that you guys need. Nick Sarayev, Nate Herc, and that's everything there. But yeah, seriously, go take the acquisition.com courses if you haven't. Go get the books, and let's get right into the video. So the first thing that I wanted to go over was acquire. These are the 3 different sections that I've broken my business down into. Acquire, deliver, and expand. Expand is retain and upsell pretty much. Testimonials and referrals, I don't think really belong in expand, because you kind of just ask for them after you deliver. There are specific frameworks to ask for these things, and I can make a video on that in the future. Not super important for me right now. But let's dive into acquire. So first section of acquire is getting people's attention. So how to let strangers know that you exist. How to get strangers to want to buy your stuff. Okay, backed by the Leads book. Let's go. So number 1 is going to be list building. This is specific to my business because the first thing that I want to do is dial in cold outreach before I start on ads, because for ads, you need to be having consistent money that you can spend on the ads. I don't really have that much money that I want to throw at ads yet. I also think that cold outreach is a more reliable channel than ads, just because there are algorithm changes, there are compliance changes and stuff, and I'll get a little more into that a little later. But this is how I'm going to be building lists. So, and reaching out to them. So you are going to scrape leads, and you can scrape leads using a bunch of different tools. I use Outscraper. You can look it up on Google. It looks like this right here. Outscraper.cloud, and then go to the Google Maps scraper. I have a video going over how I did that as well. And then, so you can scrape from Google Maps, you can scrape from Yelp, Better Business Bureau, and interest groups on Facebook. I haven't tried this one yet, but I've heard that it's really good. So something that I'll try out in the future. Obviously, my target audience is home service businesses in a certain area. Right now, I'm just doing Colorado. And then tools, Outscraper, and then Claude is what I'm going to use to organize the spreadsheet. And the output from scraping this is going to be their business name, the city, and their category. And I'm also going to be filtering by number of reviews, because obviously I don't want to target businesses with thousands of reviews because they're already huge and probably have the systems already. So that is 1, a waste of credits on scraping, but 2, a waste of credits on reaching out to them because they're not going to need what I'm selling. Next part is enriching the data. So the tool that I'm going to be using for this is Clay or some sort of similar data enricher. I'm going to get on calls with all the different data enrichment companies and see which one I like the most and which one is going to best fit my needs. But Clay is what I've seen so far. You can Google it. It looks pretty cool, and it's supposedly going to fill in the owner name, email, number, and anything else that I need to personalize the outreach message to them, which is all done by AI, by the way, and contact them as well. And so the goal is that every single person on the list has a name, an email, and a phone. And the incomplete ones that I couldn't find the data for just get deleted, because if you can't reach out to them, they don't exist. Then you verify their information. So if you've ever used like an email tool, like Instantly, if you're sending emails to non-existent domains, it basically just increases the likelihood that your email account gets marked as spam. So you want to just get an email bounce checker. It's not super expensive. I think you can pay like probably 10 or 20 bucks a month to have it verify like thousands of emails. And so that's what I'm going to do. And then a phone number checker as well. And so if you can't reach them, they don't exist. There's no point in reaching out to an expired phone number or like a dead email, because it's just increasing the chance that your account gets marked as spam and then it doesn't deliver to all the people who actually do have valid emails. And then qualifying them, I talked a little bit about this, but filtering them by number of reviews, their location, the niche, and revenue signals. I tried this before. Like a few months ago, I was running a cold email campaign for some SEO company, and the revenue signals, I don't really know if they work that well, but it is going to be something that I try. And it's just filters that you can put on. If you try Clay or any data scraper, you'll see that you can filter by revenue, but I don't know how accurate it is. And so I'm going to disqualify businesses that are too small. So some businesses aren't even going to be able to afford $297 or $397 a month. And then some of them are going to be too big, so they're not even going to be interested because they already have this stuff in place. And so you filter by those to hopefully only get qualified people that you're reaching out to. And then you want to personalize the message. So the problem with cold outreach is that you are reaching out to people who you haven't built trust with yet. And so if you personalize the message, they're going to feel like you did a bunch of research on them, and that'll increase their trust in you. So it'll also just get their attention better. So if we look at an example, let's say you get a message from someone saying like, hey, I saw you didn't have a website. Can I build you a website? Doesn't feel very personal. Doesn't feel very scripted. They're not going to trust you. They're probably just going to delete the email or the message. But imagine you sent them an email saying, hey, John, I saw that John's Plumbing only has 14 reviews and you guys don't have a website. I actually made this thing for you for free and wanted to let you try it out. I started this college project and now it's actually blowing up, whatever. Personalizing the message is crucial in cold outreach. And the thing is, what Alex Hormozi talks about in the Leads book is that when you give up personalization for scale. So the more people you want to do outreach to, the less you can personalize. But with all these AI tools, that's actually not true anymore, because I can scrape all of their information and generate a personalized message for 1 million people if I wanted to, if I had the money for the credits. And that's just the beauty of AI. So if you guys are not on the AI train and learning how to apply this stuff and automate these things in your business, you're going to fall behind, and like it's not going to be good, because there's going to be people who are just going to demolish you because things that you are doing manually, they're just having automated. And that's exactly why I've gone and done all of this, to see what processes I can automate, what things I still need to do, what things I can have a VA do, and really just looking at every single task and how much money that task generates. So sales, delivery, outreach, etc. And looking at the ones that take the most amount of time, that are worth the least value. First, checking if you can automate that. And then second, seeing if you can pay a VA like $5 or $6 an hour to do that thing for you. And then you can spend more of your time on things that generate more revenue. And that's the goal. And so you want to personalize the message. So how I'm doing it is, if they have a website, I'm going to scrape their website, see how their SEO ranks, mention that in the message. The quality of the current website, so speed, design. I don't really know if I can automate this at scale, but I'm going to try. Google business page, you can scrape and see like what information's on there, and you can point that out in your outreach message as well. Review count, super easy. Hey, saw you only had 14 reviews. I built something that's going to help you get more reviews, whatever. Any other online presence, so like Facebook, LinkedIn, Clay is actually really good at scraping those things. So that'll be able to help you tailor your messages even more to a specific person. AI generates a specific thing. So how this basically works is, in a spreadsheet, you're going to have their name, you're going to have the number of reviews, you're going to have their business name, you're going to have their Google page, you're going to have their website, and then you can feed all those things to Claude, and Claude will take all of them and generate a personalized message in a separate column for each person. And then you can send that out at scale using a software like Instantly for emails, and then Voice Drop AI for voicemails. And that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to get into that now. Next is my core offer. I didn't go super deep on the core offer just because I already have a video going over exactly what I sell, which is just website and backend systems to home service businesses, like auto call text back, 5-star review funnel, the quote form on the website, speed to lead, chat widget, database reactivation. And I learned all those things from a guy named Kai Stone. You guys can go check him out on YouTube. He's great. I'm actually in his school community as well. Super valuable. Except I've now automated everything, or a lot of things that they teach in that school community, with Claude Code. And so that's my little advantage there. I don't think many people have done that, and they're still worried about building the websites and go high level. But everyone will figure it out eventually. Hopefully I can get ahead before that, though. And for you guys watching, giving you guys the sauce for free, so you guys can get ahead as well. So another thing that they don't teach in that community, or I've literally haven't seen anyone in this niche offering a lead magnet. And a lead magnet is basically just something that other people would charge for, that you give away for free, to build some goodwill, build some trust with a customer who might have been on the fence about buying your core offer, who now has the trust and information to then buy from you now, because they've consumed something of yours and it added value, and that built the trust for them to move forward and actually pay you to implement whatever it is that you're selling. So what my lead magnet is going to be how to optimize your Google business page. It's going to be a video walkthrough and a written checklist below that, just showing them how to optimize their Google page. And this is something that you can do literally in 15-20 minutes, and you will rank higher on Google because of it, and therefore get more calls from Google, which hopefully, after them seeing that I give them something valuable for free, they then want to work with me on a paid plan, so that I can optimize the rest of their online presence with the website, database reactivation, all those other things. And the whole goal of your lead magnet is to be big, fast, free value, to build trust immediately with the person. And I'm going to test what would be the most valuable by asking my current clients. So what they think would be most valuable to their business if I had given it away for free. And I have a few different ideas that I want to try out for the lead magnet. But my best idea so far is how to optimize your Google business page. There you go, free game. You guys can copy me, build your own lead magnet. And the whole point, everything in business is a problem solution cycle. And so the goal of your lead magnet is to solve a small problem, and in solving that problem, reveal another problem. And that problem that it reveals is your core offer, which you charge for. So you solve a problem for them for free. That problem reveals, or that solution reveals a problem. And then you're like, by the way, if you want to solve this problem too, you can pay me to do it. And that's how that works. There we go. And so the principle of a lead magnet is you want it to be like a drug. The first hit is free, and then they come back for more, but the next one costs. So there you go. Give away all the secrets, sell the implementation. Again, all this is backed by the Leads book. I didn't come up with this stuff on my own. I'm not as brilliant as Alex Hormozi, but I am brilliant enough to copy all of his stuff and apply it to my business, which is not illegal. But keep your business legal. Obviously, don't sell drugs, and make your lead magnet like a drug, but not an actual drug. So there's 7 steps to building a solid lead magnet. Number 1 is the problem. So home service businesses not getting enough calls from Google. Then the solution, so an optimized Google business page. The delivery is a video and a checklist. You want to make it easy to consume and have it in multiple formats. So some people are going to prefer watching the video. Some people are going to prefer going on a checklist and like checking things off. So multiple formats, easy to consume. And then the name, I actually did come up with a name for this. I'm not going to share it with everyone because I don't want you guys to copy the name, my cool lead magnet name. But here you go, 15-minute Google fix, get more calls this week. Those ones are low-key shit, so I wouldn't copy those if I were you. But you guys have the creativity to come up with your own name. And then you want to make it easy to consume. So short video, scannable checklist. You can apply this in 15 to 20 minutes and you will get more calls from Google. So you're solving a real problem, you're getting them a real result, and then make it easy to say that I want more. So clear CTA at the end of your video, at the end of your checklist, saying, by the way, if you want to optimize the rest of your online presence, like with a website, with these automations, we can do that for you. Let's hop on a call. Okay. And then a clear CTA or a good CTA has 2 different components, which is what to do and a reason to do it right now using scarcity or urgency. And I think I have a section going over this in the VSL CTA. Yeah. So I'll go over this a little later. But yeah, with call to actions, you want to have 2 things, which is what to do and a reason to do it right now. So book a call because I'm only taking on 3 clients this month. Book a call because we are raising the price next week. Whatever. There was this Harvard study that showed if you gave a reason to cut into a line, people were like 50%, 60% more willing to let you in because you gave a reason, even if the reason didn't make sense. Like, sorry, I need to get in the line because I have a dog. They're still more likely to let you in because you gave them a reason instead of just, hey, can I cut the line? So give them a reason, not just what to do, but give them a reason to do it right now. And I do go over that a little more. And so good lead magnets do 4 things. They engage the ideal customer when they see it. They get more people to engage than your core offer alone. So if you're offering only your core offer, like, hey, we'll optimize all of this stuff for you, but it is paid, not as many people are going to consume that as the amount of people who are going to consume your free thing and then go with your core offer. So presenting both, you're kind of just, if you picture it like a funnel, if you're giving away your core offer, only a certain number of people in this little middle section of the funnel are actually going to consume it and buy from you. But if you have a lead magnet, you can expand that funnel even more and get a larger percentage of people to consume the lead magnet just because it's free, and bonus points if it's actually valuable, because if it's actually valuable, they're more likely to then go into your core offer. So lead magnet, something a lot of people don't think about. But this is something that I'm going to be implementing in my business as well. So make it valuable enough that they consume it. Obviously, you don't have a lead magnet. That's just like bullshit, because that is probably going to repel people more than it's going to attract people. And the goal is that your lead magnet makes the right people more likely to buy. So more people show interest in our stuff, we make more money from them, and we deliver more value than we ever have, all at the same time. The big AH. Alex Hormozi, GOAT. And then here were a few ideas for future lead magnets for my specific business, which is how to optimize your website in this amount of steps, how to do a database reactivation, free website audit, just some ideas that I want to test out later on. Next is going to be cold outreach. So how I'm actually reaching out to people. And you might think, like, I can just make cold calls, and you can, but if you reach out to those people in more ways, more times, you're more likely to actually get a hold of them and get them to respond to your outreach. And so that's what I'm going to go over here. But first, I want to show you or explain why you should do cold outreach in the first place. Also, straight from the Leads book. You don't need to create a lot of content or ads. Your competition won't know what you're doing. It's incredibly reliable, so you can track inputs and outputs, meaning if you need to get 20 customers this month, you can basically reverse engineer how many emails you need to send, how many calls you need to make, how many voicemails you need to send to get 20 customers based off of all of your tracking on your other outreach attempts. And so it's super easy to track, making it really reliable, and giving you the ability to track inputs and outputs. So you can literally just say, hey, we did 10,000 outreach attempts. We reached out to 10,000 people this month, and we only got 10 customers. So next month, if we want to get 20 customers, we need to reach out to 20,000 people. And it makes it really simple. It's harder to do this with ads because there's more variables, but still doable. Again, I'm going to add ads later on, but I'm going to be focusing on this for a while. And then fewer platform changes. So email doesn't really change that much in terms of compliance. Neither does phone calls. And so compliance is less painful. No spokesperson. So there's no key man risk. If you are doing cold outreach and getting customers consistently, that is a key part in creating a sellable business, because if all of your ads have your face in them, no one wants to buy that company from you, because if they buy the company from you and you're all of a sudden removed from the business, that business isn't going to be able to grow as much because of the key man risk. And Alex has a ton of videos on this and a whole a podcast on key man risk. So you guys can go look at that if you want. And then it's hard to copy. So obviously cold outreach is private communication, one-to-one. And so your competitors aren't going to be able to just copy your cold outreach like they are able to copy your ads by just going to the meta ads library and copying your shit word for word. And I know a few people who have had that problem by, I don't know. It's a good problem to have. If people are copying your stuff, it means you're doing something right. But it also means that you got to be quick with creating new ads and outspending your competition. All right, I'm back. I have to take some boxes inside with my dad. Hold on, I'm gonna take a piss. I have a very conveniently placed toilet in my work block area. I should show you guys. Check that out. Literally have a perfectly optimized work environment. Let's make sure that that's right. So sit down, I work. If I need the bathroom, well, obviously just number one. Number two, I go upstairs. But number one, I can go down here. Also, if my smile looks a little weird, it's because I got a double upper decky in. So, a little hack for you guys. Use nicotine if you're 21 plus. So that was why you should be doing cold outreach. And so it's One of the core four, there's obviously warm outreach, posting content, running paid ads. Warm outreach is something you do in the very beginning, reaching out to people that you know, because you obviously have trust with those people. It's easier to get them to at least try your thing for free and see if it works. And then you have content and ads, which I'll make videos on that in the future. But let's get into how you want to do cold outreach. So you want to automate the delivery process, you want to automate distribution, and you want to follow up more times in more ways. And this is the key differentiator between like just making cold calls compared to sending an email, then sending them a voicemail, then calling them. Because one, you have two reasons to follow up with them, and that's your opener for the cold call. They're more likely to listen to your pitch. If you're like, I tried to contact you via email, I left you a voicemail, but I didn't reach anybody. So I was just giving you a call about XYZ. A lot easier of an opener. People use that opener and they don't actually send the email. And then sometimes people are like, oh yeah, what was the email about? And then they actually check and there's no email. So actually send them that email. And you're going to get the extra people who actually do respond to the email. And so that's more leads that you just didn't even have to call. And then you get people who are going to respond to your voicemail, which is more leads compared to if you were just calling them. And that's the way that I'm going to be doing my cold outreach from now on. Check that out. I need to shave. So automated delivery. You want to personalize the emails from the research and all the data that you've scraped. I'm going to be using a software called Instantly. You guys can look this up. It's really cool tool. I'm pretty sure Alex Hormozi uses it. He's been on like a podcast with the Instantly founders. Super good tool. Allows you to buy many different email accounts and send thousands of emails every month, even like millions of emails a month. I think one of Alex's portfolio companies sends like 10 million emails a month, which is fucking insane. And then voicemail drops at scale. I'm going to be using Voice Drop AI. You can look that up as well. You can actually use 11 Labs, which is this AI voice creator. I'll show you guys what that looks like now, to record and send custom voicemails to these people, like actually using their name, their business info, and like custom value out these things. And I'll show you guys how that works now. And then I use the wave dialer on Go High Level to call the people who didn't respond to the voicemail and didn't respond to the email. And then you just call all of those people as a way to, this is going to be the primary method. So these two are really just a way to get some people engaged, but more so give you a reason to call them and a reason to follow up with them. So that's automating the delivery. Obviously, the cold calling part isn't quite automated yet. I believe that you can actually create voice AI setters and closers that can call and talk to people for you. That's definitely something that I'm going to experiment with in the future, but for now, I'm not doing that yet. Then automating distribution. So AI personalizes all these messages based off of the data that you've scraped. Software can send the volume of emails that you want to send without you having to manually type and send all the emails. And it can do the same thing with the voicemail drops. And so basically, what you have is one perfectly crafted message presenting your lead magnet or core offer, and it's presented in different ways to all the people that you're trying to contact. And you can split test this in many different ways. You can like send one version to 1,000 people, you can send another version to 1,000 people, then you can send another version to 1,000 people. You can see which one performs the best and then use that one and send it to 5,000 people. And then you're going to be split testing your whole life if you're running businesses, because you can always test different ways to reach out to people and see which ones perform the best, and then just use those ones at scale. And that's really the key. And then so you want to follow up in more times, in more ways. Again, directly from the leads book. Go and read the leads book and apply that shit to your business. So outreach method number 1 is going to be emailing them. I'm going to send the lead magnet and personalized pain point. So, hey, I noticed you only have 14 reviews. I actually made this thing that you can use to optimize your Google page and get more people to call you from Google. Whatever. Most people are not going to respond to this email, and that's the plan, because then you're going to use that as a reason to reach out to them. And then outreach number 2 is going to be a voicemail saying, hey, John, this is Austin. I sent you an email about specific thing. Just wanted to make sure you saw it. Give me a call back. Then you're going to get calls back from that voicemail. And then for the people who don't call you back, you're actually going to call them and you're going to have whatever outreach script you want. So, hey, name, following up on my email and voicemail I sent you about whatever problem. Did you get a chance to look at that? No, I didn't get a chance to look at that. And then you're going to go into your pitch, hitting on the pain points, however you want to do your cold outreach. And I'm going to be posting videos on this exact process of me doing this with leads over the course of the next few months. And then after you've done all of this, so you've sent them an email or multiple emails, you send them multiple voicemails, and you've called them multiple times, you're going to wait 3 to 6 months, and then you're going to do that same thing with the same list. All right. So this is the sequence that I've come up with, and this is the first one that I'm going to be testing. So day 1, I'm going to send them an email, which is going to be pointing out the personalized observation. Notice you only had a certain number of reviews. Notice you didn't have a website. And then I'm going to be presenting my lead magnet. Day 2, I'm going to follow up with another email and drop a voicemail following up on the email. And then on the 3rd day, I'm actually going to call all these people. Day 4, I'm going to follow up and send another voicemail to people who didn't respond. Day 5, I'm going to call them again. Day 6, I'm going to try to call them again. And then no contact, you're going to wait for 3 to 6 months and then do this whole thing again. And then a little thing that I want to use in the future is that when you're running meta ads, you can actually build you can like make duplicate lists of the kind of people that you want to be targeting. So putting these lists that you scrape with all the personalized information into Meta so that it knows to target these specific people. And then you're contacting them via email, you're sending them voicemails, you're calling them, and you're pushing your ads to those specific people. So you're really following up in all the possible ways to capture the most amount of people from each specific list, which is just going to be sick. I can't wait to start ads eventually, and then AI setter in the future eventually. But that's what cold outreach is going to look like for me and how you guys can do it as well. You want to automate the delivery, automate the distribution, and follow up in more times in more ways. Then you want to have a call to action. So 2 components, what to do, reason to do it right now. Book a 15-minute call and I'll show you exactly how to start getting more leads this month. That's just an example. And then a reason to do it right now. We have limited availability. Every single day that you're not solving this problem, your leads are going to a competitor who is using the solution. And you want to make it free, no risk. You want everything that I've gone over in my other videos to basically make an offer so good. How to make offers so good, people feel stupid saying no. That's the goal. So use the offers book and course to make your offer. Use the leads book to build your cold outreach and your ads and getting strangers to want to buy your stuff. And then use the money models book to make more money from all of those people in a shorter amount of time over and over again. And that's the point. Then your CTA is going to appear at the end of the lead magnet video, at the bottom of the checklist, in every outreach meal or email, and in every voicemail, and on my website or on your website. So you want to have call to actions everywhere with what to do and reason to do it right now, and you want to make that as easy as possible. And another spot where I'm going to have this is I kind of already went over this. After they consume the lead magnet or respond to the outreach, they need to have a clear next step. So just making it as easy as possible for them to raise their hand and say that, yes, I want this. You need to make that as easy as possible. You don't want to have any friction there. All right, so then let's get into the VSL. Okay, the next part of acquire, after you get their attention, you want to have something that's going to qualify them. So this is going to be the VSL. Then we're going to get into BANT. Then we're going to get into making them show up to the call. Then how to actually close them on that call. And then if they don't close on the call, what you should do. Bam, bam. So VSL, the goal of a VSL is to have ad or traffic, then a form or a calendar, then VSL after they've raised their hand and said that I want this. Then you're going to qualify with BANT, budget authority need timeline, via SMS or call. And then you're going to have the sales call, then you're going to get their credit card, and then we'll move on to delivery. So the VSL's job is not to generate interest, it's to pre-sell them. So the call is you actually closing them, answering their specific questions, walking them through what it's going to look like specifically for them, not pitching them. So you want this VSL to be kind of like your pitch, going over exactly what you do, pre-overcoming all of their objections that they might have on the call, so that you're only getting on calls with people who want your core offer, or at least 99% of the time, to make sure that you're not wasting time on sales calls with people who are like, what do you do again? Like, what is it that you're going to do? So you don't want to waste your time on that. You can record a 5 to 7 minute video, which is your VSL, to prevent that from happening and get on calls with actually qualified people, increasing the likelihood that you close everyone on the call. So this is what your VSL should look like based off of these 2 videos. So Alex has a video on how to script a VSL on the Hormozi Highlights channel. You can go watch this video and tailor it specifically to you. And then he has another one, which is a Cash Cows episode, where he walks through Lewis's business live. And it's more than just the VSL. It's like his whole funnel, his offer, the VSL, delivery, and like just how to scale his business. But there is a really good section in this video on how to build the VSL and your ad funnel. And these are the 2 that I use to build my VSL. So you need to have a hook. Obviously, everyone knows what a hook is, hopefully. People decide whether they want to keep watching or whether they're going to be engaged based off of the first 3 seconds of the video. So hooking them in with some sort of controversial statement, a question, something that hits on their specific pain point so that they actually feel like they need to watch the rest of the video. And so if you have 2 to 3 times the viewers who are watching this video and who are actually engaged, you are going to have higher quality people on the call. So the hook is super important. You need to have a really good hook in your VSL. And this applies to content and ads as well. Obviously, hook is the most important part. And that's why you split test so many. But if you want to learn more about hooks, $100 million leads, $100 million leads course on acquisition.com. So my hook right now, this is just a draft. So it's going to be something like this. So right now, someone in your area is searching HVAC near me, plumber near me, lawn care near me. They're either going to call you or they're going to call the next business. And what they see, your Google business profile, your website, how fast you get back to them is exactly what determines whether they go with you or someone else. And so this is hitting on a specific avatar's pain points, which is they're not getting enough business from Google. And it is in the first 5 to 10 seconds of the video where they're like, okay, this is exactly me. Like, I have this exact problem. I'm going to watch through this whole video to see if these people can actually help me. So you want it to have a call out to a specific avatar. So this is what I'm doing here. HVAC near me, plumber near me, lawn care near me. Applying to all home service businesses. They feel like I'm talking specifically to them. And then a specific pain. So they're calling the next business, not them. That's just my draft for now. And then we have the promise. So what you're going to go through in the rest of the video. And you need to make sure that you actually deliver on this promise. Because it creates a little feedback loop. If you promise this early on in the video and then you actually fulfill and deliver on that promise, they're more likely to trust you. He said he's going to do this. He actually did it. I trust that person more. And that's how trust works. It's just with these little feedback loops with you delivering on your promise. And the same thing applies to what you're actually going to promise on the delivery side of things. If you promise that you're going to get them a website and all these systems in 48 hours, you need to deliver on that promise, and that's going to increase their trust with you. But also, if you don't deliver on that promise, that's going to decrease their trust with you. So don't make promises that you can't deliver on. And that applies to content, ads, your actual delivery, everything in your life. Promising your girlfriend that you're going to be there at 6 p.m. and then showing up at 7 p.m. is going to decrease her trust in you, and you're going to get in a lot of trouble. by the way, I don't have a girlfriend. I work all day in my basement, and I'm a lonely little idiot. I don't think I'm an idiot, but I don't hang out with friends really. I don't have a girlfriend. I don't do anything. I work because I want to achieve my goals faster, and I believe that if I pull the pain from the future to right now, which is working 12 hours plus every day, I'm going to get to my goals a lot faster than if I was to just sit around, maybe work 3 hours a day on the business and like, watch Netflix and do all the stuff that everyone around you is doing. Which really just shows you that it's really easy to win today. It's never been easier to succeed, but it's also never been easier to be distracted. And if you apply that to your life, you can progress a lot faster than all the people around you, because if you look at all the people around you, you'll see that they're going out and partying. They are not working on one thing for 12 hours a day. They are spending time with their girlfriend. And I don't have anything against girlfriends. Like, I don't want you guys to think I have a problem with having a girlfriend, but if your girlfriend is not making you more likely to achieve your goals, I would love to compete against you, because you're spending 3 or 4 hours with your girlfriend every week, probably even more. And in those 3 or 4 hours, I'm working, like, or I'm watching a Hormozi video. Like, I'm gonna beat you. Fucking break up with your girlfriend if she's not bringing you closer to your goals. I know that's gonna be really controversial, but it's true. It's the truth. I'm trying to find my Layla still, by the way. And if you're a girl watching this and you're like, wow, I really like this guy, I could sit in his basement and work all day for 12 hours. Hit me up in the comments. I've been trying to find my Layla for a while. Tinder and Hinge don't really do it. I don't see Layla Hormozi in all these birds' bio and about page. So I'm waiting for the day where on Tinder or Hinge, I finally find a girl who says, I love Layla Hormozi and I just want to be like Layla Hormozi. And I'm gonna be like, damn, that's the one. It's never gonna happen. I'm gonna be lonely forever. I can't find my Layla. Anyways, let's get back on track. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So that's the promise. In this video, I'm going to walk you through a few of my live client sites and the systems behind them, what makes people actually find you online, and what makes the people who do find you go with you instead of someone else. And that's the promise that I'm making at the beginning of the video. So it tells them what they're going to get for watching the rest of the video. And without it, they don't really have any reason to stay. So the next section is proof. And if you're starting out and you don't have proof of like what exactly it is that you do, you haven't built a site or you don't have any clients yet, you can skip the section. I had to skip the section in the beginning of my journey because I didn't have any clients that I had. So I just built out a website and showed them how all the systems would theoretically work. And that VSL still worked pretty well. But obviously with proof, it's going to work even better. And so the whole point of proof is to increase the perceived likelihood of achievement. This is in the value equation. The whole offers book is structured around the value equation, which is how to create value. And how to create value comes down to these 4 things. The dream outcome, which is what it is that you're promising, the results that you're going to deliver. Perceived likelihood of achievement, which is how likely they think you are to get them to the dream outcome. And then time delay and effort and sacrifice. So how long it takes and what they have to give up in order to achieve this dream outcome. And you want this number at the bottom to be as low as possible. So you want it to be achievable in the shortest amount of time with the least amount of effort and sacrifice, with the biggest dream outcome possible and the biggest perceived likelihood of achievement. And how you increase perceived likelihood of achievement is with numbers or visual proof. Or like a before and after. So this is what their website looked like before. This is what their website looks like now. Now they have X number of Google reviews. They have the system that helps them get Google reviews on autopilot, etc. So that's the point of the proof section. Should be also very quick. Just saying like, I'm going to be going through a live client site, showing you guys how everything works. And then that's pretty much it. And through the rest of the VSL, you're going to be going through this person's live site or their before and after, which will serve as proof throughout the rest of the video. Then you want to have a plan, again, super quick, basically just a visual roadmap of what you're going to cover throughout the rest of the video. You want to break this down into like 3 to 5 manageable stages. I'm doing it in 4. This is what it's going to look like. They find you, they check you out, they reach out, and they trust you. Those are the 4 things that I'm going to be going over, and those are the 4 things I'm going to be showing you how these systems and websites actually help you achieve these things. And so the draft of what I'm actually going to say is there are really only 4 things that determine whether someone who's looking for your service ends up going with you. Number 1, they have to actually find you. Number 2, what they see when you check you out has to look legit. Number 3, when they reach out, someone has to get back to them instantly. And number 4, they need to see proof that other people trust you. That's it. If all 4 of those are working, you get the call. If any one of them is broken, they're going to go with someone else. So we're pushing on the pain point even more here. They're going to go with someone else if it's broken. And you're outlining what you're going to go through the rest of the video. So you're giving them a clear structure that you're going to go through in the video, making it easy for them to consume. Then you want to create an open loop for the rest of the video. And so you want to, this open loop that I'm using is to reveal the pricing at the end of the video, just to be very transparent and make sure that people who are getting on the call actually do check off on the budget of BANT. And so if they can't afford $297 a month or $397 a month, I don't want to get on the call with them because they're not going to buy it anyways. So being transparent with this, but putting this pricing at the end of the video so that they understand the value that they're going to be getting from all of these systems instead of at the beginning of the video. Because if you tell them at the beginning of the video that this is going to be $297 a month, they're going to be constantly comparing what they think the value of the thing is compared to $297 a month. And they're going to be like working out in their head if it's actually going to be worth the $297. So you want to present all the value before you give away the price so that at the end they're like, wow, okay, that was actually quite a lot of stuff, quite a lot of value that I'm going to be getting. And it's all for $297 a month. So then they have the price at the end after they've gotten all the value. So you want to make them, it's so difficult to say this. I wish I could talk like Alex Hormozi. You want them to be seeing the direct value of the systems before revealing the price so that they're not constantly comparing the value to the price, and instead they see, okay, all of this value, and then you drop the price at the end. I really wish that I could say that better. I don't understand. I don't know if that's making sense. Let's see if I go over it better here. Principle is simple. The plan section just showed them the 4 things they need. Their immediate next thought is, what does this cost? If you answer that now, they anchor the number. Oh, here it is. If you answer the price now, they anchor on the number and judge everything throughout the rest of the video. And if you hold on, they keep watching through the meat section because they're waiting for the number. So it's giving them a reason to watch through to the end. That's a better way of saying it. It's also the video version of Hormozi's Kill the Price question framework, where if a prospect asks, how much is it on the first minute of the call, you never answer them because your close rate is just going to immediately drop. So you need to redirect and control that objection or that question and create an open loop. So if someone ever asks you immediately, how much does it cost? So it really just depends on which plan you're going to go with. We have different plans for different kinds of people, and the price really just depends on what you're actually going to end up wanting. And then go into the next section. So the way that I'm going to do it is I'll break down exactly what all of this costs at the end, but first let me show you what it actually looks like. And then we're going to go into the meat section, which is breaking down everything. So they find you. I'm going to pull up a real client's Google Business profile, show the service areas, and then I'm going to show a real client's website, click through it, show them the before and after, and then they trust you, show the review funnel. After a job is done, the customer gets a text asking for a review. and then they reach out. So show what happens in real time. I'm going to be using one of my client systems live. So saying like, okay, I'm going to fill out this quote form on the website. Boom, quote form's done. See, I immediately got a text message from this business saying that we're going to get back to you as soon as possible, demonstrating the concept of the things that we're selling. So not just telling them what we're doing, but actually showing them. So show, not tell. And you want to teach what, not how in this meat section, because nobody cares about the plane flight. You need to sell the vacation. You need to sell the results. And this is the example that Hormozi uses, because airlines do this really well. They sell you on the Maui vacation with your feet in the sand and the margarita on the beach, not the stinky guy on the plane next to you and the terrible food on the plane and the cramped seat. They sell the results, not how you're actually going to get there. And how this applies to my business, or maybe your business too, is selling them the result of these systems, not this is how you connect this API to this platform, and then it's going to trigger when you mark this customer, when you tag this customer a specific way, then the review funnel is going to trigger. They don't care about any of that. They only care about the result that they're going to get. So don't waste time on the technical stuff. Just show the results of how each system, the results that each system gets them, not actually how each system works. And then another thing that you want to do and make sure that you do in this meat section is pre-overcome the common objections. So you want to list out all the most common objections that you get for whatever it is that you're selling. For me, it's we get most of our business through word of mouth. We already have a website. We're already fully booked out. How many leads am I going to get? You want to answer all of these things on this VSL so that when they get on the call, you've already overcome them and you're really just answering their questions and walking them through to get their credit card. And you're not having to overcome all of these objections on the sales call. And obviously you're still going to have some objections on the sales call, but if you overcome these in the VSL, they're less likely to ask those on the call. So this is the framework that Alex Hormozi goes over in this VSL video here, how to script a VSL, which is you need to walk them through what they think, why it's wrong, what's right, and then proof. So what they think, I am actually already fully booked and I get all of my business through word of mouth, so I don't actually need a website on all these systems. You're actually incorrect. Because if you are fully booked and you don't have a website and you don't look professional online, you're not charging as much as you could be if you look professional. This is what's right. So this is a professional looking site. This is a site that I've used for one of my clients. Proof. They are getting more business. They did a database reactivation. You can now charge more because you look more professional online. There you go. And then you do this for all of the objections. Then we're going to get into price range and expectations. So my pricing at the end after the meet is going to be $297 every 4 weeks if they prepay for the quarter, so 90 days up front. And this is a money model. You will find all of these things, like 15 more money models in the money models book, or you can go take the course at acquisition.com. I know I'm going to sound like a broken record, but go take the course, acquisition.com, or buy the book. And so we're bringing the money up front by making this a no-brainer, by paying for 90 days up front, where I collect almost $900 up front for me to use to go and acquire another customer. And then if they don't want to do this, it's more. It's $397 every 4 weeks, month to month, if you don't want to pay up front. So this is being framed as a no-brainer option. $297 every 4 weeks, prepay for the quarter, $900, or you can pay $397. But then walk them through yearly what the difference of the cost is going to be. So let's see, if we go to calculator, $297 times 13, because I bill every 4 weeks. Sneaky money model here. You get an extra billing cycle every year if you bill every 4 weeks instead of every month. So just say 4 weeks because it sounds like it's a month, But at the end of every year, you're actually going to get an extra billing cycle, so an extra $297 or whatever your price is. But if they do the $297 plan, it's $3,861 a year, where if they do the $397 plan, it's $5,161 a year. So you're saving them like $1,500 just by making them pay for the 90 days up front. And so we're just incentivizing collecting cash up front so that you can use that money to go and acquire more customers without having to spend your own money. And that's the whole principle behind the Money Models book. I've pretty much already gone over why. So you're not adding a tier above, you're making the higher price the default and the lower price feel like a reward for commitment. $397 a month is the anchor. $297 a month feels like a deal by comparison. Yeah, so the quarterly is obviously better value, which just pushes them toward the larger upfront payment, and we're anchoring them on this $397 a month plan to incentivize going with the $297 with giving me the money up front. Front loading cash, la 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 la. And so the goal of this, the whole point behind the Money Models book and the rest of the money models all reinforce the same principle, which is you eventually want your 30-day gross profit to be 2 times what it costs you to acquire a customer. And so level 1, obviously you want your lifetime gross profit to be greater than the cost to acquire a customer. Level 2 is that you want your 30-day gross profit, so this is the 30-day payback period, to be greater than the cost to acquire a customer. And level 3, which is like just amazing, like you can scale this to millions of dollars if you know how to do it right, is you want your 30-day gross profit to be twice the cost to acquire a customer. So basically every new customer pays for themselves and pays for the next customer. And that's how you create like a money model machine. And I obviously can't explain it as well as Alex does in the Money Models book or the Money Models course. But this is my goal with this pricing, because I doubt my CAC is going to be more than half of $900. If it is, I'm cooked. But if I get $900 up front, that means I cover a customer who costs $450 and the next customer who costs $450 in the first 30 days. And then the back end, so every month after that, is just profit. There you go. Hormozi Gold. And then you want to set up BANT, which is budget, authority, need, timing. This is something you want to do after the VSL as well, but you can set it up in the VSL if you want to. So it's budget, authority, need, timing. Budget, we are already covering the pricing in the VSL, so they already know the ballpark, and it filters out the people who want a free consultation with no intention of paying. It also prevents the let me think about it objection, because they're going to have time to think about it before getting on the call if they watch the VSL. And then if they actually show up to the call, it means they've already thought about it and they're most likely already ready to buy. Then authority. So we're solving for the objection, I need to talk to my wife or I need to talk to my partner. If you handle it on the video, you eliminate it before it happens on the call, which prevents you from having to book another meeting where you need them to go and talk to their wife or you need them to go talk to their business partner. So we're really shortening the sales cycle by pre-overcoming this objection in the VSL, and I'm also going to overcome it in the BANT section as well. So saying this in the VSL, something like this in the VSL, if your wife or husband needs to be on the call, I'd recommend doing it together. One person handles the taste, one person handles the money. This is the example from Alex Hormozi's video with Lewis. But for BrickSmart or for my business, I'm just going to be like, by the way, if you're not the one who makes the decision on this, or you need a partner to be on the call, or you need your wife to be on the call, I'd recommend having them on there just so I can answer both of your questions, all of your questions at once. It'll just save us a ton of time, et cetera, et cetera. Then need is pretty much already covered. They have intent to get this stuff up if they've already watched the 5 to 7 minute video. And then timeline is how soon do you want to get this up and running? So anyone who says like maybe next year just isn't someone that I want on the call. So we're only working with people who want to get this up and running within the next 1 to 2 weeks. And so here's the draft. When we get on the call, I want to make sure that we're not wasting each other's time. You already know the investment. If there's anyone else involved in that decision, whether that's a business partner, a spouse, whoever handles the finances, bring them on the call. That way we can answer everyone's questions and get you set up if it's a good fit. The call is really just to walk you through your specific situation, figure out what makes sense, and get everything started. And if you've watched through this video and you don't think any of this is going to help you or your business, just let me know. You're not going to hurt my feelings. You just be saving both of us a ton of time. And this is covering the need. So if you don't think that this is going to help you, just tell me. I don't want to waste 30 minutes on a call. You'd be saving me a lot of time. You'd be saving you a lot of time. And so just pre-qualifying everyone who watches this video, which is a requirement to get on the call. And then the CTA at the end of the video, here's my draft. But if you did watch this video and you're thinking, yeah, this is what my business needs, that's exactly what the call is for. Every day you don't have this in place, you're losing customers to a business that does. And I can only take on so many clients each month. I keep it small on purpose so I can work closely with every single one. I'll see you on the call. And so this is telling them what they need to do basically and why they should do it. I can only take on so many clients each month, which is true. That is natural scarcity. So what to do, specific action, why they need to do it now, urgency or scarcity. We only have a certain number of spots available. I can only take on a certain number of people, blah, blah, blah. Then we get into BANT, which is going to be here after they've booked a call. You want to walk them through BANT, and you can do this via text message, which is what I'm going to try out in the beginning. It might be more efficient to do this on a call. So after you get the notification that someone booked a call, just call them up right away saying, hey, saw you booked a call. Did you get to watch that VSL? Okay. And then you're going to walk through all of these things that I'm doing via text message. So immediately after booking, hey, John, it's Austin from Bricksmart. Got your call booked. Looking forward to it. If you haven't already, check out this quick video before we hop on so you know exactly what we do and exactly what to expect on the call. Then you send them the VSL. So this is authority. We're eliminating, I need to talk to my, oh, wait, no. This is in the wrong place. I apologize. There we go. Just send them the VSL link. Then a few hours later is going to be the authority. So you're making sure that they're getting on the call with the decision maker. So quick question, is there anyone else involved in the decision for your business? A partner, a spouse, whoever handles the finances? If so, I'd recommend having them on the call so we can answer everyone's questions at once. This is authority. So we're eliminating, I need to talk to my wife, I need to talk to my partner, by just having them on the call. So we are really we're being strategic about the different objections that they could have on a sales call and trying to pre-overcome them before they even get on the call, so that you're just basically walking them through to the credit card page by showing them exactly what you're going to do for them. And that's the point. Getting qualified buyers on, saving you time on the sales calls. Then text number 3, same day or next morning. Also, what's your timeline? Are you looking to get this up and running soon or more of a down the road kind of thing? If they say soon, that's perfect. Then you want to get on the call with them. If they say down the road kind of thing, or maybe next year, I'm just going to say, hey, look, I'm only working with people who want to get this up and running soon. You can just book a call whenever you're ready to get this up and running, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to waste my time with people who are not going to buy now. So text number 4, if they respond to that, perfect. You're already seeing the pricing in the video. Any questions on that before we get on the call? And then this is confirming that the budget is correct. So not can you afford it, but any questions. Then we have show. So actually getting them to show up to the call. You can do this. It's pretty simple. Reminders. This should be green actually because this is automated. 24 hours before the call, 2 hours before the call, 30 minutes before the call, 10 minutes before the call, 3 minutes before the call. And what I've learned from doing this for a month straight in March is that if you just send them messages saying your call is in 24 hours, they don't respond to those and they're not engaging. So if you just ask them a question and get them to engage, it increases the likelihood that they're going to show up on the call. So, hey, our call's in 24 hours. Are you still good for that? Are you still good for this time, this date? And then doing the same thing at 2 hours, 30 minutes, 10 minutes, 3 minutes. Hey, are you still good for our call in 10 minutes? Hey, are you still good for our call in 2 hours? And for the people who aren't responding to those, you might want to reschedule them or give them a call, and then just try to bring someone up from later in the day, or call other people that you've booked meetings with and say, hey, spot just opened up. I can fit you in about an hour. Does that work for you? And so we're bringing people forward on our calendar. And that's the goal. You don't have to do that. That's a little more advanced, but just getting them to engage with these reminders is a little hack that I've learned. If they don't show up to the meeting, you want to automate this as well. So, hey, John, looks like we missed each other today. Want to reschedule? Here's the link. If they don't answer, you're going to remind them a day later, 3 days later, a week later, and then a month later. And then if they still don't respond, just leave them alone. They're cold. They're not going to buy. And then if they do reschedule, we're going to just trigger the reminders. So we're going to trigger these reminders, not the whole BANT sequence again, because it's going to become redundant and you don't want to have them answering those same questions if they already have. And you can automate all of this in Go High Level. It's not that complicated. You can figure out how to do it. Everyone shows you how to do it for free on YouTube. Then we have closer. So once they've actually showed up to the call, what do you walk them through when they're on the sales call? For this section, I didn't actually go in depth into exactly how I'm doing this, just because I don't even have my closer framework down properly. But also, if I were to go over what I have currently, it would probably be like another 30-minute or another hour-long video. So let me know down in the comments if you guys want to post, if you guys want me to post a sales call where I'm going over my closer framework and actually walking someone through on a sales call. But yeah, I'll make it a separate video. And if you guys want to apply the closer framework to your business, here are the 2 best videos that I've come across. So boom, you can screenshot this, go watch these videos after you're done watching this one. But just to go over it really briefly, it's clarify, label, overview past experiences, sell the vacation, explain away their concerns, and then reinforce the decision. So clarify is, why are they there? What do they need help with? So what kind of had you get on the call today, John? Blah, 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 blah. They tell you why they're there. Then you're going to label them with a problem, and you're going to restate it back to them and get them to say yes. So yeah, what's the problem, Ben? You're just not getting leads from Google? Yeah. No, we're just not getting leads from Google. Restate it. Okay, not getting leads from Google. Does that sound about right? They have to say yes. Overview their past experiences. Have you ever worked with another marketing company in the past? Why didn't it work? Pushing on the pain points here. Then you're going to sell the vacation. Already went this. Going over the results, not how everything works. And then explain away their concerns is overcoming objections. Hopefully you're not going to have to do too much of this because we've already pre-overcome most of them in the VSL and in BANT. But you will have objections here and there, and clearly outlining exactly what those objections are and memorizing what your overcomes are, because you want to show them that you're an expert and you don't want to sound like you're a beginner on these calls. So listing out specific objections and their overcomes, and then memorizing your script. Because if you're like, you want to talk to your wife about it? Why do you want to talk to your wife about it? You're going to sound like an idiot, and you don't want to sound like an idiot on the call. You want to sound like an expert. So if you were to talk to your wife and she were to say no, would you still think that this would be something that is worth going with? That was actually terrible. But like scripting out those things to be able to actually confront them when they come up on the call. But hopefully not too much is coming up because we've already pre-overcome them in the VSL and BANT. And then you want to reinforce their decision. So after they say yes, you don't ever want them to feel bad or like regretful about their decision because they just spent money on something. So you want to say like, welcome to BrickSmart. Like, here's a free resource pack. This is exactly what we're going to do in the next few days to get you up and running. If you have any questions, just text me. This is my personal phone. Just making it as smooth as possible, kind of just comforting them as they've made the decision, because people make a snapshot judgment on whether they're going to work with your business for the long term within the first 2 days. So you need to have your onboarding process as smooth as possible. No mistakes. You want this to really be like comfortable. You don't want them to be in the dark at all. You want to give them a timeline on when they should expect certain things, what is expected of them, what they need to give you. And I'll go over this in the delivery section in a second here. But I really want to hit on how important it is to reinforce this decision properly and make sure that they're having a smooth onboarding experience, because that's what's going to determine whether they churn in like 2 months or 3 months down the road, or whether they stick for years. And a lot of that work comes down to the first 48 hours that they experience with your business. So really dialing that in and making that as smooth as possible. Then, bam fam. So if they don't close on the call, you want to always book a meeting from a meeting. So if you don't close them on this call, you want to try your best to book them like a week out and say like, hey, I'm perfectly okay with giving you a week to talk to your wife about it, or giving you some time to think about it. Would you be able to do Saturday this time next week? And then actually getting them to commit to the next meeting. Because if they don't commit to that next meeting, you're going to have to follow up with them manually over and over and over again to try to book them in again. So having them committed to another process and giving them a timeline on how long they have to think about it or talk to their wife. You always want to book a meeting from a meeting. And same thing after you've closed them, actually. So if you've closed them and you got their credit card, you have them signed up, booking the onboarding call from the closing call. So like, would you be able to do our onboarding call like 2 weeks from now, same time? So that we can just have it scheduled and make sure that your spot's locked in, whatever. Book a meeting from a meeting. Very important. But it shouldn't be a huge issue because of how we frame the VSL. So most people you're getting on the call with, if you do the VSL correctly and BANT correctly, should be buyers 99% of the time. But just for the off chance that they're not actually a buyer, or they need time to think about it, try to book them in to another time so that you don't have to chase them down. And if they don't close, follow up with them. This is kind of what I do. If they don't close, follow up with them 3 days later. Just, hey, name, I know you're still thinking about it, thinking about getting the website up. Just wanted to show you what another one of the client sites look like. Sending them a screenshot, a little more proof, maybe even a testimonial. Then 7 days later, hey, name, did you get a chance to talk to your wife about the website? Happy to hop on a quick call if that's easier to answer any questions for you. Then 30 days later, hey, name, still want to get more customers online? If they don't respond to this, just leave them alone because they're cold and your time would be better spent trying to get new leads. And if they don't even show up to your sales call, follow up a few hours later, like, hey, no, we missed each other today, blah, 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 blah. Let's get you rescheduled. Then follow up 24 hours later. Hey, name, sorry you didn't get a chance to hop on the call yesterday, blah, blah, blah. Here's a link to reschedule. 3 days later, 7 days later, 30 days later, leave them alone. And that is acquire. That's my process, at least. If you guys found that valuable, you can try to replicate it, copy it, and try it in your own business. Let me know if it works. This is what I'm going to be doing. And over the next 1 to 2 months, I will have all of this running. So doing my cold outreach, running them through the VSL, running them through BANT, running them through Closer. And you'll be able to see the results of everything that I've laid out. Everything that I've laid out here, probably in 1 to 2 months from now. So we'll see if it works. Next, we have deliver, which is very short. Promise we're almost done. And then expand, not much there yet. This is an ongoing document, so I'm going to continue to improve and refine this over time. But I wanted to make this video to see, like, in a few months from now, how accurate I was in the things that I would be doing to run this business, and also just give me a better understanding of the business and applying all of Alex Hormozi's stuff to my business. So once they have closed, you are going to have certain requirements that they need to do. And so for my business specifically, which this delivery section is going to be specific to my business. So if you're not running the websites and backend systems, this probably isn't going to be as relevant for you. But if you are, here you go. So once they're closed, they need to fill out the onboarding form. This is all the information that you need to build their website. They need to give you Google Business Profile access. So this is how you import their Google reviews into the website, and then they need to send you pictures. After you have closed them, you want to send them reminders every 48 hours to complete this onboarding form, give you Google Business access, send the pictures. If you are not doing these reminders, I will tell you firsthand, they will not send it to you. Some people will. Some people are accountable. Some people are punctual. They actually show up on time and they actually do what they say they're going to do. But most of these people are not going to remember to do it on their own. So you need to send them reminders. One of my clients for this business, I have 6 clients right now. The one guy who went into yearly billing went off of this subscription here. But one of these clients still hasn't sent me their onboarding form or their pictures or given me Google Business Profile access. And they've paid me for 2 months of service. And they don't have a website and they don't have these systems. And I follow up with them like every 2 or 3 days to send it in. And they're like, yeah, we're on board. We're just super busy. Like, we really want these systems. But it's whatever. You're going to have those clients, but they're still paying me every month. So that's pretty nice. But just remember to follow up with these people, and you can automate this whole thing as well. So it doesn't have to be manual for the onboarding form at least. And then after they've sent in the onboarding form, if they haven't sent you pictures or Google Business Profile access, you still can't fully build out their stuff. So having a VA follow up with them for pictures and Google Business Profile access. That's why this is yellow. So everything that's yellow is what I'm going to pay a VA to do. So requirements, onboarding, Google Business Profile access, send pictures. The trigger, number 1, is going to be onboarding form complete. This is all automated. Once they send the onboarding form in, Claude is going to build their website and Claude is going to create their sub account and go high level. The VA then needs to register their ATP phone number. Once they've given Google Business Profile access, we need to connect the Google Business Profile to go high level. Then we need to create their quote form, chat widget, reviews, and add them to the website. This is all super simple with Claude, by the way. And then pictures sent, organize the picture by service type, give Claude the pictures, Claude adds the pictures to the website. Also, pretty much 90% automated by Claude. A VA is just going to give Claude the pictures and organize them by service type. Once you've done all 3 of these things, you can then send the site to the client, get their approval, make any edits that they want. And doing this with Claude is honestly such a hack because you can just paste the edits that they ask you for. Like, hey, Austin, is there any way that you can do this for the website? Copy, paste into Claude. Claude makes changes. Text customer, I made those changes. Let me know what you think. Enter, send. 30 seconds of work, max. AI is a beautiful thing, everyone. Start using it. And then if they have a domain, they need to give you their registrar login. So GoDaddy, Wix, Namecheap, and then you need to point the DNS records to your new site, or you can just buy their new domain if they don't have a website or if they want a new domain. And then after you've made any edits, you want to book them for the onboarding call. You want to send them reminders for the onboarding call 24 hours, 2 hours before, 1 hour before, 10 minutes before, etc. However you want to do reminders, just getting them to show up. And for my specific business, they need to download a lead connector app to actually manage all of these customers. And then internal reminders to myself, who's going to be doing the onboarding call. I need to test their automations before getting on the onboarding call with them and prep any specific notes for certain customers. Maybe the VA says that their ATP phone number wasn't registering, blah, 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 blah. And then you actually need to onboard them. And I have a specific onboarding checklist for this. Not going to go through it on this video. Pretty standard. Just show them everything that you did, show them how to use everything, make sure that process is as smooth as possible, because if they don't have a good experience, during the onboarding process, they are more likely to churn later on. So you want to make this really, really perfect for them. You don't want to make them feel like there's any mistakes. And then on this onboarding call is actually where I'm going to be presenting upsells. So by the way, do you want an AI receptionist? I'll let you test it for free. And then after, it's just an additional $100 a month. You guys all know what an AI receptionist is if you're at this point of the video. And then asking for referrals. Every time you refer another home service business, I'm going to give you a free month. And then asking for a testimonial video. I'm not sure if I really want to do this on the onboarding call yet or after I get them some sort of result. If they do a database reactivation, this is a better time to ask for the testimonial video. Like one of the clients that I just got or set up a database reactivation for got like 20 plus appointments booked from her reactivation campaign, which is insane. Like they're drowning in work right now. And I'm hoping that I'm going to get a really good testimonial from her. So you want to ask for the testimonial at the highest point of satisfaction. So after a big result, after they've gotten some customers, after their database reactivation worked. And the example Alex Hormozi gives for this is like if you were at a restaurant, it is easier to what is this example? Oh, this example isn't actually relevant. Yeah, never mind. I was going to give this steak example, but it doesn't actually apply here. Sorry, I just have like Hormozi knowledge running around in my head because I consume so much of his content. So I apologize if some of it gets mixed up sometimes. And then expand. I'm going to expand on this. Okay. This is just retain. So getting them to stay a customer for longer, upselling them. So into ads, AI receptionist, Google business optimization, database reactivation, all these different things. But until like Hormozi says, you want to go to from 0 to 1 million, you want to have one avatar, one product, one channel. And for me, that's going to be home service business owner, the website and AI automation on the back end, and one channel cold outreach. I have a feeling I'm going to start ads before I'm at $1 million a year, but that's what he says to do. So I'm going to try to stick to it. And then testimonials and referrals. I already went over that, but there's specific frameworks that Alex Hormozi gives for asking for testimonials and asking for referrals. And so you can go watch those on YouTube, go subscribe to the Hormozi Money Minute because he gives away free tips there as well. And if you guys do want to do exactly what I've done to apply Alex Hormozi gold to my business, take the transcripts from YouTube videos, paste them into Google Docs, give the Google Doc to Claude, ask Claude how to apply this specific idea from this video into your business. And that's exactly what I did to build a lot of this, as well as just going through all 3 of these books with a pen and paper, writing down notes on how to do this stuff. And if you're a real Alex Hormozi fan, you even know about the Gym Launch Secrets book. That's everything. There you go. That's what I'm doing to scale from where I'm at right now, which is right here, to hopefully gazillions of dollars. That's what I'll say. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that this was valuable to you guys. If you made it all the way to the end, I would really appreciate it if you left a comment saying like made it to the end to show me that you actually made it this far and that all the work I put into this video was worth it. Even if this video got 2 views, it was worth it for me because I developed a better understanding of my business and how to structure everything. And so really just posting it on YouTube is me trying to help you guys copy what I'm doing and see what I'm doing right, copy that stuff, see what I'm doing wrong, avoid that stuff. And I'm trying to give away as much free value as I possibly can to help you guys achieve your wildest goals and dreams alongside me. But that's going to be it for the video. I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you want to follow my journey documenting from my parents' basement. But yeah, have a good one, guys.